Good afternoon. Welcome to Africa Today. I am Jessica Magaji Joseph. First, the headlines. Nigerians reps query. Go on a short break. Good afternoon. Welcome to Africa Today. I am Jessica Magaji Joseph. First, the headlines. Nigerians reps query Ministry of Finance over unauthorized funding. Eastern Sudan's Kassala province flooding affects displaced persons. Growing calls for Gabon's transitional leader to stand in presidential poll. And on sport, Rwanda champions sign Nigerian duel. Now the news in detail. The House of Representatives Committee on Public Assets has queried the Ministry of Finance Incorporated for taking money from the budget for its operation without authorization. Chairman of the committee, Ademorin Kuye, queried the agency as its managing director, Armstrong Takang, appeared to give an account of their activities. The committee, which grilled Tankang and members of his team on efforts to shore up the revenue and government, expressed disappointment with MOFI for failing to live up to expectations. It berated the agencies for reckless expenditure without improving government revenue. Takang had it in his presentation told the committee they took money from the budget. Kuye said the agency wasted the committee's time as it did not provide any answers to its questions. Kuye, in his ruling, also demanded various documents from the agency on the asset it was managing. He said they must be submitted within 7 days. The committee also knocked the agency for operating without proper legislation establishing it. Organizers of the nationwide protest against hardship have listed points of convergence for public meetings, rallies, and processions across the country. But the Lagos High Court has restricted protesters in Lagos taking part in the proposed August 1st nationwide protest to the Gani Fawehimi Freedom Park in Ojota and Peace Park, Ketu area of the state. Recall that Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun had asked organizers of the protest to submit to Force Headquarters contact details of those organizing the protest, as well as designated points and routes of the protest. This is even as they asked the Chief of Army Staff, Tarid Lagbaja, to withdraw soldiers deployed across the Federal Capital Territory and other cities ahead of the proposed protest. The IGP, however, buckled yesterday and ordered senior officers to protect protesters in the planned nationwide protest. Meanwhile, stakeholders in the Nigerian project continued yesterday in their call for both organizers of the protest and the federal government to exercise restraint over the protest, especially given the pro-government protest in some parts of the country. On Ebun Adegboruwa, solicitor to one of the protest organizers' Take It Back movement, in a letter to the IGP, listed the point of convergence for the rallies to include Eagle Square, Abuja, Alausa Park, Lagos, and opposite Wema Bank and Apapa Lane, Benin City. The Ebonyi State University chapter of the Academic Staff Union of University has chided the student loan scheme of the federal government, saying its realization and viability were not sustainable. The union, however, called for a renegotiation of its demands, improved funding for revitalization, university autonomy, and academic freedom across the nation's universities. The chairman of EBSU ASU chapter, Ikechukwu Egwenyi, stated this at a briefing in Abakaliki, the state capital. When we return, news from other parts of West Africa. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Ghana's Vice President, Mahamudu Bawumia, has announced that the government will equip metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies across the country with earth-moving equipment to facilitate road construction. This initiative is part of the District Road Improvement Program aimed at empowering local assemblies to undertake crucial infrastructure development projects. The DRIP, funded by the District Assembly Common Fund and donor partners, is designed to address the numerous infrastructure challenges the MMDAs face. By providing the necessary equipment, the program seeks to enhance the capacity of local government to improve road networks and other essential infrastructure. Speaking at a rally in Wolensi in the northern region, Bawumia emphasized that the DRIP will be a transformative initiative for local communities. He stressed the importance of the program in boosting infrastructure development and improving the quality of life for residents across the country. Mercenaries were killed by jihadis and rebels over in northern Mali in what one analyst described as the largest battleground blow to the shadowy Russian group in years. At least 2 others were taken captive. Approximately 50 Wagner fighters in a convoy were killed in an Al-Qaeda ambush, which was joined by rebels who were in pursuit along the border with Algeria, said Wassim Nasir, a Sahel specialist and senior research fellow at the Sulfan Center, a security think tank, who said he counted bodies in a video of the aftermath. The mercenaries had been fighting mostly Tuareg rebels alongside Mali's army when their convoy was forced to retreat into jihadi territory and ambush south of the commune of Tenzouaten. We move to other parts of Africa after this break. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Flooding in Sudan's eastern Kassala province has compounded the hardship of displaced people who were seeking shelter there. In the area known as the Industrial School, one of the biggest displacement camps in Kassala, people were pleading for help. Ali Abdul Jabbar, an internally displaced man from Sena, explains. Mawen Aboud, also a displaced man from Sena province, described the situation as critical and devastating and emphasized the urgent need for assistance. In Kassala, individuals trudged through knee-deep floodwater, clutching onto their saved possessions. Meanwhile, some had opted to rest on dry land after abandoning tents that had been partially submerged. At least 12 people have died in eastern Sudan, according to the Sudanese Ministry of Health, following the flooding that began on Saturday, leaving homes and tents inundated. 11 months after he came to power in a coup, there are growing calls for Gabon's transitional president Brice Oligui Nguema to run for office. He was sworn in September last year, less than a month after ousting President Ali Bongo, whose family had ruled the country for more than 5 decades. He said he and his Rally for the Homeland and Modernity Party would support the president if he stood in the presidential elections scheduled for August 2025. The transition charter governing Gabon authorizes Oligui Nguema to stand as the candidate but not the other leaders. But while the president's actions on the ground suggest he intends standing, has not yet declared himself a candidate. Up next is business. Please stay with us. Welcome back. On business news, The federal government has distributed free compressed natural gas conversion kits and cylinders to companies for the conversion of vehicles of commercial transport operators in Abuja, Niger, Kogi, and Nasarawa states. The Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative Program Director, Michael Oluwagbemi, announced the provision of conversion kits and cylinders with free installation cost during the FCT CNG Conversions Mobilization Program in Abuja on Tuesday. According to him, the event commemorates the handover of critical materials, especially kits and cylinders, to conversion center partners who will be implementing the conversion incentive program that President Bola Tinubu has declared will convert 1 million commercial vehicles free across Nigeria in the next 2 years. He said the different unions, especially the Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers, the Road Transport Employees Association of Nigeria, and the Nigerian Association of Transport Owners, NATO, as well as rideshares, will be participating in this conversion program and nominating their members to be converted at this conversion workshop. Ethiopia's national currency dropped 30% against the dollar after its central bank floated its bill currency on Monday. This move is aimed at securing International Monetary Fund support and advanced debt restructuring support. Ethiopia has been grappling with high inflation and foreign currency shortages, and it defaulted on its government debt last year. Negotiations with the IMF resumed after a peace deal in Tigray in 2022. The central bank will now allow banks to trade foreign currencies freely with limited interventions. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed announced the reforms, and the country expects $10.7 billion in external financing from the IMF, World Bank, and other creditors. Importers welcomed the move, which eliminates reliance on the black market for dollars. The U.S. supported the shift to a market-determined exchange rate, calling it necessary for addressing economic issues. Ethiopia has requested debt restructuring in 2021, but the progress was delayed by the Tigray conflict. Still to come, sports. Please stay with us.
This is Hillstv. Quality broadcasting is what we'll bring to you. Now we be this
Hillstv, Polka.
Thanks for staying with us. On Sport News, Rwanda Premier League champions APRFC have announced the signing of Nigerian duo Godwin Odibo and Chidebere Nwobodo. Odibo, a winger linked up with APR from Nigerian National League outfit Sporting Lagos. Nwobodo joined the multiple Rwanda League champions from Nigeria Premier Football League champions Rangers. The midfielder captained the Flying Antelopes to win the NPFL title last season. The duo's arrival increased the number of Nigerians at the club to 3, with forward Victor Mbwama already a key member of the squad. APR will compete in the CAF Champions League next season. Chelsea have received some good news from Italy in their effort to sign Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen from Napoli this summer. Popular football market expert Fabrizio Romano said that the Italian club are now willing to allow Osimhen to leave as a part of the deal for Romelu Lukaku. The Nigerian frontman is wanted by Chelsea this summer. PSG are also said to be interested in landing him as a replacement for Kylian Mbappe, who wears the colors of Real Madrid. While the League One champions are yet to agree to a deal with Napoli, Chelsea are looking to sign a proven goal scorer to lead their attack this season. The Serie A side could be willing to make an exception from the Blues, provided they included Lukaku in the player plus cash offer. New manager Antonio Conte wants Lukaku to lead his attack in the upcoming season. Lukaku is also desperate to team up with Conte at Napoli, so this is a move that could suit all parties involved. However, the London Giants will have to convince Osimhen, especially since they won't be playing in the next Champions Leagues next season. And that's sport news on Africa Today. We move to the rest of the news after this break. Welcome back. Now to the rest of the news. 24 hours before the planned 10-day hunger protest, the federal government took some proactive steps to quell the demonstration. Recall that recently a group that Take It Back movement called for a nationwide protest against hunger and bad governance in the country. However, there have been calls from top government personalities, groups and religious bodies, including the Christian Association of Nigeria, the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria and the Muslim Rights Concern, citing a palpable fear that it might be hijacked by infiltrators who do not mean well for the country. Even the former Niger Delta freedom fighter, Mujahid Asari Dokubo, warned organizers of the protest to desist from coming to Niger Delta. Dokubo Asari said the agenda of those behind the protest do not capture the problem of the people of the Niger Delta. While daring them to come to the oil and gas-rich region, he said they will be resisted, alleging that they were merely interested in the resources coming from the Niger Delta, describing them as anarchists. And that's Africa Today. But before we go, here are the headlines again. We told you that Nigerian reps query Ministry of Finance over unauthorized funding. Eastern Sudan's Kassala province flooding affects displaced persons. Growing calls for Gabon's transitional leader to stand in presidential poll. And on sport, Rwanda champions APR sign Nigerians though. Remember to visit us on Facebook at Hillstv Abuja, Instagram at Hillstv Abuja, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Hillstv. I am Jessica Magaji Joseph. Thanks for watching.